What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
6DF. Chapter 104. Ability Gible. The First Battle. The announcement of the points list this time proved that the points competition of Sanlongwei is much more difficult than the freshman field test of Kunlun University. Compared with the previous few thousand, it is close to tens of thousands. There is only a little more than 1,000 points in the points race, and there is still a certain distance from even 2,000 points. It can only be said that the arrangement of Sanlongwei gave a really low score. Not to mention wild Pokémon encountered here and there. When Luo Ling was in Longtan alone, he defeated more than a dozen Gyarados of over 40 levels, and there were also those in their early 50s. Among wild Pokémon, this level is not too weak. As a result, Luo Ling's score is not high. But this is also good, and many people who come to paddle are screened out. Next, the contestants who have advanced will draw numbers one at a time according to the order of their ranking. Long Ocean gave an order, and several more staff members appeared in the center of the square, holding a box in their hands. The staff used the same slip of paper to number on the spot, and put the rolls into a transparent lottery box. This scene surprised Luo Ling. What age is it now? The Long family is not so poor that they are reluctant to make an electronic version of the lottery system. Do you want to use this time-consuming and labor-intensive method? Even with traditional methods, numbers can be prepared in advance to save time. Why is it still so troublesome? Impatient with the wait, Luo Ling couldn't help complaining in a low voice. Why do you take such a primal approach? Winning Kair on the side explained. It's not all for fairness, justice and openness among the three races. If the system is often used to arrange randomly, it will inevitably be called human control. It is not difficult to judge from Ying Kair's mouth that she is actually not very satisfied with the result of such a treatment. After all, it's a real waste of time. But in order not to cause conflicts among the three races, he could only adopt such a primal and somewhat clumsy method. According to the ranking, Lu Fan was the first to go to draw a number. After all, it was the first place, and it also subdued a total of 5 quasi-gods in the points competition, so it naturally attracted everyone's attention. In full view, Luo Ling revealed the number he drew, number 12. Subsequently, the debate went to Yaki et al., who were next to draw numbers. Just like that, when everyone's numbers were drawn, Long Ocean announced the next rules. Starting tomorrow, there will be a Duford contest. Later today, we will announce the battle information of the players, and they will be eliminated one-on-one. In the end, based on the battle ranking and the performance in the battle, we will select people who can enter the Dragon God's forbidden area. The rules are simpler than 293. In a word, just win the championship. At least, that's how Luo Ling understood it. Since the players have just experienced the points competition, they are not the best contest conditions. Everyone will have a good rest tonight to adjust the contest condition, and tomorrow morning, the subject hall will be held. After the information about tonight's battle is announced, I will come to you and discuss with you about tomorrow's battle. After finishing speaking, without waiting for Luo Ling to make any response, Ying Kair turned around and returned to the villa area. The people of the three tribes did not continue to stay here. On the other hand, Long Ocean, when passing by Luo Ling, had a hesitant expression on his face, which made the latter understand the other party's intention immediately. But in front of so many people, it is better not to say some things. It just so happened that Luo Ling also had some problems and wanted to consult Long Ao. Luo Ling was not in a hurry to go back. There are more regions around the square that I have never been to. It was not easy for Luo Ling to come to participate in the Sanlongwei, and he didn't know how long the Sanlongwei would be over, so he took advantage of his free time to stroll around. Contrary to the direction the three clans left, Luo Ling came to a garden. It's a nice environment, just right for the Pokémon to relax. Mr. Luo, Fuxing is very happy to meet you. Just as Luo Ling took out the Pokeball and was about to release the Pokémon, a strange voice suddenly came from behind him. Turning around, he saw that it was a member of the Clarence family. Among the three clans, only members of their family wore European-style clothing. Is there something wrong? Luo Ling threw the Pokeball to play and asked. On behalf of Patriarch Matt, I want to talk to you. We know that you are not a member of the Long family and the winner, you are just participating as a representative. However, in fact, we also hope that you will represent our family in the competition. As soon as these words came out, Luo Ling was instantly puzzled. Is this going to buy yourself? Then let's talk about your personal conditions. Let me see if yours is better, or the Yaki family's is better. The members of the Clarence family were taken aback. People from the Baki family also want to buy Luo Ling. This seems to make sense. Why can't the Baki family do what the Clarence family can do? In fact, this was just a casual remark by Luo Ling, and it didn't really happen. If Mr. Luo is willing to represent our Clarence family in the competition, we will provide you with a large number of secret treasures of the breeder dragon Pokémon. Guaranteed to make Mr. Luo's Pokémon grow up as soon as possible. Besides, if Mr. Luo ADFG has any needs, you can mention them, and we will try our best to satisfy you. That's an exciting enough condition. If it is someone else, I am afraid that they have already agreed. But for Luo Ling, if he wants to obtain secret treasures, he can find the original ecology by himself as long as he enters the major secret realms, and there is no need to ask others for it. However, Luo Ling will not let go of such a rare opportunity. He showed a very excited look, but then eclipsed. The conditions proposed by you and the Yaki family are almost the same. Although I am very tempted, it is really difficult to make a choice between the two of you. It's better than this, as long as you can eliminate Yakishuan in the knockout round, I will agree to your request. After all, Yakishuan is a very troublesome character. Hearing what Luo Ling said, the members of the Krolin family were silent for a moment. Then nodded and agreed to Luo Ling's request. As the most powerful young man of the Yaki family this year, Yaki Chuan is indeed one of the biggest rivals of the contestants. Even if Luo Ling didn't put forward such a condition, the members of the Clarence family would definitely regard Bakishuan as a thorn in their side. Agreeing to this request is just pushing the boat along the way. Seeing the members of the Clarence family leave, Luo Ling released his Pokémon for everyone to play in the garden. As night fell, after dinner, Luo Ling took the initiative to find Long Aocean. I thought you couldn't understand me, not as smart as I thought. Long Aocean waited for Luo Ling in the room for a long time. He didn't see him until the dinner was over. It was inevitable that he felt a little resentful. But he did have important matters to explain to Luo Ling, so he could only suppress the Mie in his heart. It's just that I'm a little impatient after waiting a little longer. As the head of the Long family, it is inevitable that I am too impatient. If other people saw Long Aocean, they would have already been suppressed by his powerful aura. But Luo Ling, you seem to be a person who has nothing to do, and you pour yourself a cup of hot tea, and sit on the sofa to savor it. I think the things we two want to talk about should be the same. I subdued the quasi-god in the wild area, you should have seen it. If I want to bring these Pokémon back, what are the conditions? Before Long Aocean could speak, Luo Ling took the initiative to tell what he wanted to know. When Long Aocean heard it, his horns turned up slightly. It seems that Luo Ling is smarter than he imagined. Tomorrow's Duford competition, as long as you can win the championship, you can take away all the Pokémon you conquered before. I think you should be clear that this time the ranking is different from the points competition. As Long Aocean said, the ranking of the Duford competition is also a representative of the strength of a family. And only the top 3 players are eligible to enter the Dragon Mystery Realm and try to gain the Dragon God's approval. Therefore, the competition for the top 3 rankings is particularly fierce. There is only one chance to get Dragon God's approval every year, so the 3 great families will never give up lightly. I will let Longxing and Ying Kair find a way to escort you to the final, but in the end it depends on your own strength. After all, you are Luo Hongji's son, and we won't make things difficult for you. As long as you can make our Long family achieve excellent results again in this year's 3 Dragons Fair, let alone the 4 quasi-gods you recovered before, if you still want to enter the secret realm again, it will not be a problem. Compared with the conditions proposed by the Clarence family before. Only then did Long Aocean appear more sincere. The other Luo Ling didn't care too much. If he could take away the 4 comfortable quasi-gods, especially the 4 ability god level potential Gible, Luo Ling would not be in vain. The product of Gible's cross-egg group is really extremely rare. Not to mention the god level potential. Luo Ling is confident that he can train Gible. Don't worry, even if it's for my Pokémon, I will be the champion this time. After leaving these words, Luo Ling returned to his room. It's just that at the door of the room, I saw Ying Kair and Longxing. The two of them came here this time to discuss the tactics for the future, and at the same time brought over the information list of the players' battle. Although it is a one-on-one knockout match, it looks like they are fighting alone, but in fact it is still a group battle between the 3 great families. If anyone can monopolize all the top 3, then they will have a greater possibility of being recognized by the Dragon God. Therefore, the Long family's strategy this year is to ensure that Luo Ling can win the championship as much as possible, and at the same time, let Ying Kair also win a place in the top 3. Only in this way can the Long family be recognized by the Dragon God as much as possible. As for Longxing, he just came to assist Ying Kair and Luo Ling. He is also very clear about his own strength. Naturally he can't compare to Ying Kair, let alone the stronger Luo Ling. So in order to make the family win as much as possible, he is willing to play a supporting role. Even if they can help 2 people to clean up an enemy as much as possible, it can make them easier. Moreover, in the relationship between the Long family and the winner, Longxing is still Kair's cousin. The next day, the crowd of the 3 great families gathered together. It is still the square of yesterday, but today everything has been decorated into a place similar to the Colosseum, but the scale and layout are so large. But it is completely enough to be used as an arena for live battles. According to the order of symptoms announced yesterday, Lu Fan became the first person to appear on the stage. As his rival, he is a young general sent by the Baki family, about the same age as Luo Ling. At this time, the referee team composed of referees from each of the 3 major families has also arrived at the scene. One of them came to the edge of the field, and the others were watching the game around. Game start. Please both parties send Pokémon against each other. This time, the competition is a team with a full quota of 6 Pokémon. So for people who own more than 1 Pokémon, there will be a huge advantage. Come out. Gyarados. Jimmy Lang, a player from the Yaki family, immediately chose the Pokémon to be played, and Luo Ling, who was standing opposite, also took a photo immediately. Gible. This is our first time participating in a battle, let's perform well. Cuff. Gible opened his mouth wide, looking at rival's Gyarados, visibly bewildered. After all, it was the first time, and it was normal to have such a reaction. Gible, drama is tense. Even if it's Gyarados, it doesn't mean the opponent is strong. Luo Ling kept encouraging Gible, and released the power of controlling the dragon, which comforted him a little. On the other hand, Jimmy Lang showed a disdainful expression. What do you think of this martial arts competition? Aren't you underestimating me by sending an unevolved Gible? In such an extremely important game situation, everyone will definitely use their own powerful Pokémon. But Luo Ling uses a Gible. This will inevitably lead to the suspicion of mocking the enemy. Moreover, many people present knew that this Gible was a Pokémon that Luo had tamed in yesterday's points gathering. Taking it out to participate in the competition today is not only a mockery of rival, but also an insult that has never looked down on the other party. You don't care what Pokémon I use, as long as I can win. Could it be that you feel that you are too weak to even beat Gible? As soon as these words came out, Jimmy Lang was speechless. Facing the insult, he could only swallow his anger and choose to make the most powerful defense for himself in the battle. Luo Ling didn't mean to provoke rival on purpose. The reason why Gible is sent is because of the requirements of the competition system, and the other is to let Gible get more exercise and make his strength stronger. If Gible fails, Luo Ling will continue to send Bagon. In short, let the two little ones get as much exercise as possible before sending out their current main force Pokémon. Since rival despises us, give him a treat. Gyarados, use Dragon Pulse. Jimmy Lang roared, and Gyarados followed roar. The moment he opened his mouth, a vortex shock wave was released from the mouth, approaching Gible. Don't be nervous, run from the left all the way along the edge of the field, don't get hit by the Dragon Pulse. Cuff. Gible roared, and ran directly to the left to the edge of the race. While keeping the distance between himself and Gyarados as far as possible, he continued to run across the edge of the principal playing field. In this way, a fan area is formed. In this field, if Gyarados wants to successfully hit Gible, it will become more and more difficult as the radius of the fan continues to expand. With good speed and reflexes, Gible successfully dodged Dragon Pulse's attack. Very well, let's rest for a while and see what Gyarados does next. Luo Ling's word stunned the people of the three clans. What does it mean to take a break first? Now, in the process of the battle, one should cheer up and defeat the opponent as much as possible at all times. This is the most important thing to do in a battle. Now Luo Ling let Gible rest, how much does he look down on Jimmy Lang and Gyarados? In front of three groups of people, this is blatant contempt. As a member of the three tribes, Jimmy Lang was able to participate in the Sanlongwei, and he was also an excellent existence in childhood. Now, being insulted by Luo Ling, a foreigner, is naturally unbearable. Gyarados, use Surf. Roar. Gyarados raised his head to the sky and screamed, and suddenly a large amount of seawater overflowed from the playing field. Chapter 101 Sandstorm. Gible activates ability. The venue of the competition was rectified overnight yesterday and was divided into several floors. The members participating in the battle are at the bottom level, and the referee is at the second level. Others are on the third tier or higher. Therefore, even if a large amount of seawater overflows from the scene, it will only affect the battlefield on the first floor. A large amount of seawater rushed in, and Luo Ling and Jimmy Lang temporarily retreated to the second floor. But Gyarados dived into the water, and when he saw it again, there was a wave of waves on the surface of the water, and it approached Gible. Gible had never seen such a scene before, and he didn't know where to go for a while. Don't worry, use Protect where you are. No matter what happens, don't let go. Luo Ling retreated to the second floor while giving orders to Gible. Cuff. Gible finally had a direction. Facing the rushing waves and Gyarados, while roaring, a light-colored white light accompanied by some colored light formed an all-round protective cover to envelop the round land shark. Boom. Gyarados rushed over with the waves, and a large amount of seawater directly washed away Gible. But even so, Gible is still implementing the instruct issued by Luo Ling, and has been protected by the protective cover. After the wave passed, Gyarados reappeared in its original position. Gible, however, managed to evade the attack of Gyarados because of the continuous use of Protect. But also because of this, if Gible continues to use Protect next time, the effect will be greatly reduced. Cuff. Cuff. Gible, who survived, found that he was safe and sound, and shouted at Luo Ling several times with an excited face. Good job. After all, it is Gible's first appearance in the game, so it will inevitably make him excited. Gible, let the other party see your true strength. Let's also change the venue and turn the venue into a sandstorm. Following Luo Ling's order, Gible yelled in response, and then, he began to swing his hands and feet continuously, kicking up a burst of dust from the ground. At this moment, a gust of wind blew from nowhere, blowing up the sand and dust. Although the soil on the ground is slightly together because of the water just now. However, under the dual effects of wind and sand, sandstorm was still successfully used, turning the entire environment into a sandbag weather. At this moment, Gible's ability finally works. Appearing in the sandstorm weather, the sand shadow and the ability to shake the sand, so that Gible's speed has been improved, and the reaction ability has also been improved, becoming more agreeable to avoid the enemy's attack. Moreover, the power of sand increases the power of ground, rock and steel moves. The current Gible has activated 3 abilities at the same time, instantly becoming the god of the desert. Luo Ling also finally has a free time, and can use the data eye to check the Pokémon situation of rival. Open black lens bracket Gyarados. Water flying, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level, 38 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket character, bold close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ability, Overconfident after defeating an enemy on either side, the attack ability will increase. Close black lens bracket. Individual values. HP 25, physical attack 28, special attack 25, physical defense 26, special defense 21, speed 25. Open black lens bracket skills. Aqua Tail, Water Pulse, Ice Fang, Crunch, Hydro Pump, Surf, Ice Beam, Dragon Tail, Dark Pulse, Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket qualification. Quasi-elite close black lens bracket. To Luo Ling's surprise, Jimmy Lang's Gyarados were actually weaker than imagined. I thought it would be at least in the early 40s, but now it seems that there is a slight gap. However, after all, it is a battle with a full quota. It is estimated that the first Pokémon dispatched is relatively weak, and the real main general should be placed later. Use Dig to approach rival. Gible dives straight into the ground, and even Dig's speed is better in sandstorm weather. But for this trick, Jimmy Lang seems to have experience. Don't be afraid, floating in midair. Gible wants to attack, he will reveal the ground, then use Crunch directly. In this way, Gyarados keeps an eye on the situation of ground all the time. However, Jimmy Lang didn't know that this ability that Gible should not have. At this time under the effect of sandstorm, the speed has exceeded his imagination. Whoosh! I only heard a sudden sound from the ground, and a figure flashed in front of Gyarados' eyes, and then disappeared into sandstorm. Gyarados was taken aback, and almost rushed towards the place where the shadow had just flashed. In this way, the situation lasted for about a few minutes, and Gyarados' nerves were tense all the time, so he had to consume a lot of energy. Seeing Gyarados' mental state getting worse and worse, Luo Ling finally showed a smile. It's now. Jump out of the ground, use the metal grab. Puff. Gible jumped out from behind Gyarados, grabbed Gyarados' tail, and scratched it directly. But this is not normal scratching. The increased power of Metal Claw directly left a deep wound on Gyarados' tail. In addition, Gible's rough skin ability caused Gyarados to suffer secondary damage. Gible's fighting spirit became more and more intense. After using Metal Claw, his eyes were concentrated, his concentration was improved, and his attack ability was also improved. Smash Gyarados to the ground and use Bulldoze. The injured Gyarados' reaction force decreased. Even though Jimmy Lang told Gyarados to dodge quickly, he was still caught by the tail and put on the ground by various people. Moreover, Bulldoze is a ground-type move. When Gible's stomp was on Gyarados' body, Gyarados foamed at the mouth and lost his fighting ability. Gyarados can't fight. Gible wins. Please change the battle Pokémon you are using. The referee of the Quarterfinal family announced the result on the spot. 3 different referees were dispatched at the scene. Whenever the players played against each other, the referee of the non-corresponding family would be the main referee to ensure as fair as possible. Luo Ling also felt very speechless about these cumbersome rules. No matter what Pokémon rival excludes, as long as it's sandstorm weather, Gible is a god. Jimmy Lang then ruled out an Exeggutor. This Exeggutor has a long neck and a height of nearly 11 meters. It can be seen at a glance that it is a relatively rare form with a dragon attribute. But after checking with the Eye of Data, the level is only 38, which is not very strong like the Gyarados just now. Of course, this is for the children of the family. For ordinary people, it does have impressive strength. But to have a good performance in Sanlongwei, it is indeed a lot worse. Luo Ling finally understood that this Jimmy Lang was not the main combat force of the Baki family. So, let go and sleep. Just let Gible continue the fight. In less than 10 minutes, the god of the desert has hundreds of all of Jimmy Lang's Pokémon. Gible defeated the enemy alone, LV20-LV21. After defeating 6 Pokémon across levels in a row, coupled with the training of Gible in the wilderness area yesterday, Gible's level has been raised by 1 level. From this point of view, Gible, who has 4 abilities at the same time, is really powerful in the desert. Even after fighting across levels so many times, he actually won. It's just that I'm tired after going through these 6 battles. Fortunately, I have the blessing of the power of Yulong, otherwise I'm afraid I won't be able to do it in the 4th battle. Thank you for your hard work, you did a great job. An extra meal for you tonight. Cuff. Apparently, Gible was so tired that he could barely respond. Have a good rest. Luo Ling fed Gible the energy cube first, and then put Gible back into the ball to have a good rest. At the beginning of the second game, Luo Ling also retreated to the territory of the Long family. I didn't expect your newly recovered Pokémon to be so powerful. Win Kyer sitting next to him couldn't help sighing with emotion. Luo Ling also wanted to complain. It's not that I'm strong, it's that Jimmy Lang is too weak. I was able to do it with just a Gible, which was beyond my expectations. This is not Versailles, this is the truth. Luo Ling originally planned that Gible and Pei Peilon would play first and second, and let them go through the motions to exercise their fighting ability in the game. Wait until the third one, and then let the other current main forces come on the stage to solve the enemy. But the Bagon has not been taken out yet, and he wins. Luo Ling is also very helpless. Jimmy Lang didn't even have a Pokémon over level 50 before he arrived. Luo Ling always felt that, if you want to become a blockbuster in Sanlongwei, you can't justify not having 3 or 2 Pokémon at level 50. Don't be too happy. Jimmy Lang is only slightly better than those eliminated yesterday. The Baki family focuses on cultivating Bakishuan this year. Winning Kyer kindly reminded her that Luo Ling might get carried away. I have heard rumors a long time ago that Baki is a genius boy who has rarely met in the Baki family for many years. He was exposed to Pokémon earlier than other children, and soon showed a strong talent. Even in the Neon Country National Youth Grand Prix 2 years ago, he won the title of champion with 0 winning percentage. Such achievements have far surpassed many professional trainers. Luo Ling glanced at Bakishuan, who hadn't played yet. He said coldly, "Don't worry, I will pay attention to him." Bakishuan also noticed Luo Ling, who was staring at him, but unexpectedly, the other party nodded slightly to show his friendliness. That being the case, Luo Ling naturally couldn't help being a human being, and also nodded at the other party. At the same time, the Clarence family sighed. Ellie Clarence stared at Luo Ling curiously for a long time. Her eyes were full of appreciation. "Sister, you are not interested in that kid from the Dragon Kingdom." Tommy Crowan on the side noticed Ellie's gaze, and something seemed wrong. 0. Asking for flowers. The two are twin siblings, the legal heirs of the Crowley family, and have grown up since Arnold. Tommy has always loved Ellie very much, and is afraid that Ellie will be hurt in any way. After so many years, he has already become a full-fledged sister-in-law. So when I noticed that Ellie was staring at Luo Ling, I was a little jealous for a moment. I warn you, that kid is our powerful opponent. Although he promised to join us as long as we killed Yakishuan before, he is an outsider after all. You are a member of the Honorable Carolyn family, you must not be tempted by a kid like him. Tommy was in a hurry. He always felt something was wrong with Ellie's eyes. But the latter responded indifferently, "Of course I know what you said. I'm just curious, how did Luo Ling manage to make a newly tamed Pokémon so strong? Did you use some mysterious means behind our backs? Secret treasure, or what?" In fact, these are not only Ellie's conjectures, but also the conjectures of everyone present. Everyone saw with their own eyes that Luo Ling only discovered Gible on the last day of the points competition. But under the command of Luo Ling, Gible completely defeated Jimmy Lang. Isn't that a little too strong? Or is it unreasonable? But once everyone knows that this Gible has 4 abilities that can be displayed at the same time, either to increase damage or to have various abilities, then it will not be very interesting. Gible was originally a quasi-god, and he was stronger than other Pokémon. With various blessings, it is normal for hundreds of Jimmy Lang who is not very strong. As long as you don't have special thoughts about Luo Ling, that's fine. Tommy thought it was that simple. But it didn't take long before I saw Ellie showing a special look at Luo Ling again. He didn't say anything on his lips, but in fact, he was already raged in his heart. No, if you meet him, you must defeat him. Tommy thought so in his mind. But he didn't dare to show it directly in front of Ellie. In the following whole day, after several rounds of one-on-one elimination mode, Luo Ling relied on Bagon and Gible in the early stage, and at most added a Dragonair or Duolongchi, and was able to defeat all 6 Pokémon in rival. After the first few rounds of battles, Bagon also successfully advanced to level 22. From this point of view, yesterday's massive training of Bagon and Gible in the wild area was very effective. Most of the wild Pokémon in the wild area are relatively strong. Today is full of leapfrog fighting all day. The regiment will let the 2 little ones improve their level faster in these 2 days. It was getting dark. Everyone has been fighting all day, and everyone is a little tired. However, the final 8 players have also been confirmed. After being eliminated in the first half, the list of players for the quarterfinals is now announced. Baki family, Yaki River. Crowrens, Tommy Crowan. Long family, win the lottery. Baki family, Yaki Liang. Long family, Tu Ling. Long family, Long Xing. Crowrens, Ellie Crowan. Yaki family, Dai. The contestants who have advanced to the quarterfinals, please rest well today, and tomorrow will be the final battle. After Long Aocean finished speaking, he looked around and signaled to everyone not to stay any longer, and the people of the 3 clans left one after another. Tomorrow will be the list of qualifications that will determine Sanlongwee's entry into the final trial this year. The patriarch of each family is destined to interview those who have advanced in their own family, and no one is willing to stay in the square at all. Of course, the same is true of the Long family. And Brandon, what's going on? Just when everyone was focusing on Yakishuan and Ellie Cloran, Luo Ling's attention was a little different from everyone else's. It seems that I have never heard about Brandon before. Yingkeier responded. This Brandon is a follower of the Yaki family. The specific strength is not clear, but he has never defeated Yakishuan, so don't worry. This remark immediately made Luo Ling feel very puzzled. Not sure about strength. Never beat Yakigawa. This lack of information is too vague. Let's watch the first game tomorrow. It's the battle between Tommy and you. He is Ellie's big brother, and he is very strong. You have to be careful. Seeing that Luo Ling was distracted, Yingkeier quickly pulled him back. Luo Ling looked at Tommy's relevant information and found that the other party actually had a Kamo O as a trump card in his hand. It is said that Tommy's Kamo O has only lost to Ellie, that is, his sister, and has never lost again since then, with a strong field score. This is worth noting. After the discussion was over, Luo Ling went back to his room and checked all the secret treasure factories currently in his hands. Chapter 102 Trump Card. Kamo O. Tomorrow's competition will determine who has the qualifications to be recognized by the Dragon God. Luo Ling can be regarded as unprecedentedly serious. Luo Ling already had doubts about the 3 dragons of Dao mentioned by Yingkeier earlier. If it is really what you think, then it is very important to obtain the approval of the Dragon God. In the wild area before, after finding the essence of the dragon, I continued to find many secret treasures. High-end dragon gem, top quality dragon fang, high-end dragon skull heads, etc. are also full of rewards. Even without the essence of the dragon, such a result is enough to make people enviable. Come out, Dragonair. Bump. The Pokeball released a red light, and Dragonair's supple body appeared beside Luo Ling, constantly rubbing against him. Proposal. At this moment, Dragonair noticed that Luo Ling had taken out all the treasures that could breed the Pokemon of the breeder dragon line. He stared at the secret treasure very puzzled, then turned his head to look at Luo Ling, who was smiling. These are all for you. Tomorrow we'll shoot you to participate in the battle, so today I will improve your strength. Tomorrow is the final match. After entering the final round, the Pokemon used by Rival will definitely not be as weak as it is today. Which means Bagon and Gible certainly won't be able to beat Rival easily. In addition, among Luo Ling's main combat forces, only Dragonair is left that has not yet evolved into its final form. So Luo Ling decided to give priority to Dragonair in the following games. That being the case, Dragonair must be strengthened. Seeing that all the secret treasures were in front of him, Luo Ling activated the power of Yulong, fused all the secret treasures into one, and directly let Dragonair swallow them all. After Dragonair absorbed a large number of high-level and top-quality secret treasures, he instantly felt a powerful force in his body about to surge out. Proposed. 407. A lot of sweat suddenly broke out from Dragonair's smooth skin, staining the fur pads on the floor. Absorbing such a large amount of secret treasure power in a short period of time would indeed make Dragonair a little unbearable. But over time, Dragonair has fared better than previously thought. When Dragonair opened his eyes again, it became clearer and looked more spiritual. Proposal. Dragonair let out a cry. That breath was full of vigor and activity of life. Luo Ling smiled and stroked Dragonair's body, while using the data eye to check. It was found that the strength of Dragonair has indeed become a lot stronger. The level has been directly raised from level 50 to level 54. Luo Ling couldn't help feeling that it was too difficult to upgrade now. Dragonair just used all the secret treasures he could use, including many high-level and top-quality secret treasures. Dragon Fang, Dragon Skull, and Dragon Gem are countless. In this way, the registration can only be upgraded by 4 levels. It seems that I have to think of a way to collect some secret treasures again. Before resting, I took a look at the current situation of the Pokemon. Open black lens bracket Bagon. Dragon white flash close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 22 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Haxorus. Dragon black flash close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 49 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Dragonair. Dragon close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 54 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Roaring Moon. Dragon evil close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 50 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Dragon Chi. Dragon flash close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 50 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Gible. Dragon ground close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 21 close black lens bracket. As for the other 4 little Doran Macios, their levels are all the same, around 30th level. However, they seem to have a good relationship with Duolongchi. In the end, they all like to cling to Duolongchi, as if he is the boss. He even likes to lie on Duolongchi's head. If the sight is not enough, just change it. This is also good, Duolongchi can lead them to fight. Even if the Duolong family has such characteristics, the fishy and big ones like to take the small ones to practice together. The small ones will also get into the air holes on Duronchi's head and live in caves, as if they were all in one. Because of this ability, in the battle, Duronchi and the little Doranmesia will play together, and they will only be counted as one Pokemon. But there are limitations. Duronchi can only carry 1 Doran Messia, but when it evolves to the final stage, Doran Bardo, it can carry a maximum of 4. It happened that Luo Ling had 4 Doran Messiahs. According to the current situation of Pokemon, and the situation of Rival, Luo Ling has already thought about how to fight next, and then went to sleep. The next day, all the people of the 3 clans appeared in Longdao Square on time. Today will be the last day of the competition, which can be described as highly anticipated. As the players who appeared in the first round, Luo Ling and Tommy stood on opposite sides. When fighting me, don't use the Pokemon you just conquered, it won't beat me. As soon as Tommy came on the field, he directly threw out the Pokeball, which was a 7-year-old blue bird. Open black lens bracket Altaria. Dragon flying close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level 50 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket character. Naive close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ability. Regardless of the weather, will not be affected by any weather, close black lens bracket. Individual values. HP 29, physical attack 29, special attack 31, physical defense 29, special defense 29, speed 28. Open black lens bracket skills. Disarming voice, round, dragon breath, safeguard, dragon pulse, sing, cotton guard, moonblast, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket qualification. Quasi-championship close black lens bracket. Looking at the dragon trader in front of him, Luo Ling decided to temporarily change the Pokemon he sent out. This Altaria has fairy moves that can counter dragon Pokemon. Moreover, Tommy's trump card doesn't have 2 places yet. Letting Dragonair play now is likely to consume a wave, which is not good for the future situation. In this case, it can only replace Pokémon. Come out, Tuku. With a flash of red light, Duranchi comes out of the Pokeball. Then there was a small eastern dragon Messia attached to its head. I heard that your Duolongchi brought you 4 quasi-gods from somewhere. It's a pity that there will be no chance to continue to show it in the future. Altaria, use Moonblast. Good guy, when you come up to 10, you can directly use the moves that restrain the dragon Pokémon. It seems that Tommy really wants to beat Luo Ling. I saw Altaria flapping its wings, concentrating the strength of its whole body here, and when it opened its mouth to make a cry, following the cave of the wings, spherical energy bodies fanned out from under the wings, and flew directly to Duolongchi. The deterrence stemming from attribute's restraint made Longqi not know what to do. Take it easy, dodge rivals' attacks with quick attack, then use your powers to become invisible. After Duolongchi's short reaction, he immediately moved his body quickly. Although the energy ball's speed is also very fast, whenever it is about to touch Duolongchi, it is always a little short of the hitting distance. And after dodging 2 or 3 times in a row, Duolongchi also disappeared directly on the battlefield invisibly. Altaria looked around from time to time, trying to find out which direction Duranchi was in. Duranchi, use Dragon Dance under the invisible contest condition. While Luo Ling gave the order, he also released the power of Yulong. After all, the opponent's Altaria has fairy-type moves, and it is also necessary to prevent whether the opponent will use Mega Evolution during the battle. After Altaria Mega Evolution, it is not just as simple as the fairy-type moves, it has its own fairy-type attributes. This is indeed a very big threat to the dragon Pokémon. Therefore, Luo Ling didn't plan to launch an attack directly before figuring out the opponent's strength. Luo Ling could clearly feel that Duolong used Dragon Dance latently in the air. Coupled with the endowment of the power to control the dragon, Duolongchi's combat ability has been directly improved several levels. In this case, let's use Disarming Voice. It's another fairy move, and it's an indiscriminate attack. Even if Duolongchi is invisible, there is no way to avoid being hit by sound-type offensive moves. Just after Altaria opened his mouth and released a bewitching sound, Duranchi, who was originally invisible, twitched all over and reappeared on the battlefield. This move will not cause much damage, but for Pokémon, it can attack directly from the spiritual level, making Pokémon very painful. Duranchi, use Draco Meteor. Luo Ling wouldn't let Altaria's power trip, a Draco Meteor that fell from the sky, directly disrupt the opponent's battle conditions. It's now, use the spirit to attack. Duranchi first let the little Doran Messia who was staying on his head launch and fly towards Altaria, and then he also rushed over together. At the moment when Duolong Maya was about to come into contact with the blue bird, he was easily dodged by the other party. Don't be careless, there is a Duolonglu. Reminded by Tommy, Altaria once again focused on Doranzi. But in the next second, Duolongchi disappeared directly in place. Immediately afterward, he appeared behind Altaria, directly made a backstab, and successfully hit the vital point. Duranchi attacked Altaria's back wings, causing the opponent to lose the ability to fly, and fell heavily on the ground. Now, use Dragon Tail. It may be because he was disturbed by the disarming voice before, so now Duolongchi is very angry. He gathers his power behind his tail and spins himself towards the ground. Dragon Tail slapped Altaria hard on the neck. Such a powerful impact directly knocked the bad blue bird unconscious to the ground. Altaria can't fight. Duranchi wins. Tommy never thought that Duoji would be so powerful. Whether it is the efficiency of offense or the use of moves, it must be improved to a higher level. And every attack is not just about giving damage. Attacking places can always affect other Pokemon's abilities. In this way, anyone who doesn't pay attention will be defeated by Duolongchi with multiple moves. Tommy was only able to get his Altaria back and sent out the next Pokemon, a level 49 Druddigon. How can this kind of Pokemon, which has not even reached the threshold of level 50, be able to defeat Duolonghi? Besides, Pokemon like Druddigon is really not that powerful. It is not a quasi-god, nor can it evolve, with many restrictions. Lori really didn't expect that. Anyway, he is also one of the legal heirs of the Krolin family, so why is his strength weaker than he imagined? But recalling the news provided by Ying Kaier before, it seems reasonable. Before coming to participate in the Three Dragons meeting, Ying Kaier had already said that the strength of the disciples among the 3 clans was indeed rather worrying in the past few decades or hundreds of years. Only this year, Eli Cloran and Yakishuan came out. As for the others, there is no possibility of obtaining the approval of the Dragon God at all. From this point of view, the strength among the 3 clans is indeed weaker than imagined. Even Long Xing, the son of Long Aocean, has only one Pokemon above level 50. If there is no Luo Ling, the most powerful people recognized among the 3 clans are only Eli Cloran, Yakishuan and Yingkai. Druddigon, use Fire Punch. Following the roar of Druddigon, the moment its fists collided, a large amount of flames suddenly burst out and attached to the fists. Immediately afterwards, Yin Yanlong rushed to the Duolong area. However, it was still the same as the previous tactic. After Duolongchi disappeared, he was looking for a suitable opportunity to launch a sucker punch. Just like that, Druddigon was successfully hit in the vitals by a move of Phantom Force, and could no longer continue to fight. And this time, it took even less time than before. After letting the audience see it, they couldn't help but sigh with emotion. They didn't expect Luoli to be so strong. All the Pokémon they have used so far are basically able to block one side. However, due to several consecutive battles, Duolongchi was forced to leave the field due to his physical exhaustion in the middle of the third battle. Fortunately, all of this is still under Luo Ling's control. After recovering Doronki, Haxorus was sent out. Of the current main combat forces, only Haxorus has not broken through the 50th level. Just put him on the court first to wear down rival. Lori had been waiting for Tommy to send out his trump card, until after Haxorus had exhausted his stamina by defeating rival's 5th Pokémon. Tommy's trump card Kamo-O is finally here. Open black lens bracket Kamo-O male sign, dragon fighting, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level, 55 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket character, gentle close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ability, dustproof will not be damaged by sandstorm, nor affected by powder and spore 3.0 moves, close black lens bracket. Individual value. HP 31, physical attack 31, special attack 31, physical defense 31, special defense 31, speed 31. Open black lens bracket skills. Clanging scales, autotomize, dragon breath, work up, noble roar, dragon dance, close combat, mega kick, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket qualification. Champion close black lens bracket. Compared with Tommy's other Pokémon, this Kamo-O is not only the highest level, but also the best aptitude. From this point of view, it is indeed Tommy's trump card. Luo Ling took a fancy to this from the beginning, so he immediately released Dragonair. Dragonair, this is the last Pokémon, do your best to defeat rival. Use Dragon Dance. Luo Ling found that this Kamo-O has functional moves, which can either improve its own abilities or reduce the opponent's abilities. With such a skill arrangement, the opponent should want to fight a protracted battle, and at the same time use various gaps to improve and reduce rival's ability. That being the case, then Dragon Dance and the power of Yulong are naturally indispensable. Kamo-O, we also use Dragon Dance. The two Pokémon glanced at each other, performed the same move, and their own speed and attack were improved. But at this moment, Quechuo still did not choose to attack. Use Noble Roar. Use Autotomize. Use Work Up. Continuously improving abilities is indeed a confusing tactic. Kamo-O, though, lost weight and got a massive speed boost. Work Up can improve Kamo-O's double attack. At the same time, the Noble Roar sound made Dragonair's double attack ability drop. In such a situation, it is really difficult to handle. Right now, rush over and use close combat. Chapter 103 Dragonair. Evolution. With Autotomize, Kamo-O removes the useless scales on his body, thus reducing the weight of his body and making his speed faster than before. As soon as Tommy finished speaking, his Pokémon quickly came to Dragonair. All attributes of Kamo-O have been improved, and even some of them have been greatly improved. Dragonair was entangled by the opponent. The repeated punches and kicks left Dragonair with multiple serious injuries on his face and body. Dragonair couldn't help spitting blood while lying on the ground. Proposal. When Dragonair stood up again, anger suddenly appeared in his eyes. Can you still hold on? When Luo Ling asked, Dragonair immediately became excited. As an inward-scrolling dragon, do you want to beat it down at this level? Don't you look down on Ben Long. With the performance of Dragonair, Ren Lu is full of confidence in it. Both sides are quasi-gods, who can be afraid of whom? Dragonair, use Aqua Tail. Luo Ling gave an order, and saw that the gemstone in Dragonair's life suddenly flashed blue light, forming a watery vortex at the tail, and with the shaking of the tail, it kept rushing forward. The next second, Dragonair came to the side of Kamo-O. The tail that has always been accompanied by turbulent waves directly flicked over. Kamo-O didn't even dodge. Under Tommy's order, he directly used the head hammer to catch Dragonair's tail with his head. Bump. The two Pokémon were not bounced off at the first time, but fought against each other fiercely. Dragonair, use your calendar. Luo Ling shouted, and the power of Yulong became stronger and stronger. At this moment, Dragonair's whole body was full of energy, and the vortex flow at the tail was more violent than before, directly repelling Kamo-O. But after all, it was Tommy's trump card, and this level of offense was not enough to defeat the opponent. Kamo-O, run behind the enemy and use Scary Face. At this time, Kamo-O was extremely fast, even facing a fast attacker like Dragonair, he managed to get around to the rear. A grimace suddenly appeared beside Dragonair, making it affected by Astonish, because of excessive fear, O3 dare not act easily, the speed is affected. That grimace then reverted to Kamo-O's face. Luo Ling didn't expect that this Kamo-O could possess so many skills that affect various management abilities. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so difficult to fight. However, Dragonair didn't seem to want to admit defeat. The firm look in its eyes made Luo Ling's inner will become stronger after seeing it. Dragonair, use agility. Since the opponent is adopting a delaying tactic and constantly improving their various abilities, Dragonair, who is a fast attacker, will naturally not let go of his own characteristics. Before agility, the speed that was originally affected by rival has also returned to its original state at this moment. Immediately afterwards, with a move of Water Pulse, the wave energy body rushed directly to Kamo-O. However, the latter uses Dragon Tail to directly crack all of Water Pulse. Taking this opportunity, Dragonair summoned a large number of Swifts. Although the damage of this move is not high, it can hit the enemy 100% at an extremely fast speed, and the large number can also give rival a lot of interference. As a fast breaker, he showed his greatest advantage at this time. Dragonair, hover left and right to approach rival, and keep using Thunder Wave. Bump, bump, bump. Dragonair revolved around Kamo-O, and the Thunder Wave interference from time to time made Kamo-O very upset. The role of Thunder Wave is not really to paralyze rival, but to make rival have to spend energy to crack it. As long as a certain delay can be caused, the goal has been achieved. Now, use Dragon Rush. Proposal. Dragonair's whole body exuded a faint light, and the power of the dragon spread all over his body. He successfully hit Kamo-O's abdomen with super high speed. Kamo-O, use Iron Defense. The moment Dragonair successfully hits rival, Iron Defense is also used at the same time. But even so, the two Pokémon had to retreat to their original positions due to the powerful impact. Kamo-O looked distressed, and a strong tackle mark appeared on his abdomen, making him very uncomfortable. The situation of Dragonair is also not optimistic. Just now rival's defense ability has been greatly improved, and his body has become abnormally hard. Coupled with Kamo-O's own decent defense, it made Dragonair's head ache. Compared with the two Pokémon, Kamo-O still has a slight advantage. Take advantage of this opportunity and use it. Kamo-O opened his hands and rushed towards him like Dragonair. It wanted to grab Dragonair's body, but the latter's body was extremely smooth, and the speed itself was not bad. Every time it clearly touched it, but it was always due to insufficient friction between the hands and the skin. Let Dragonair escape. Dragonair, use Thunder Wave at close range. Seeing the two Pokémon chasing each other, Luo Ling decided to change tactics immediately. Unexpectedly, there is no way to hit Kamo-O, who is also very fast from a long distance, so since the distance between the two sides is very close, seize the opportunity. Facing Dragonair's counterattack suddenly, both Hakamo-O and Tommy were obviously at a loss. Bump. Thunder Wave successfully hit Kamo-O, causing it to enter the paralyzed contest condition. Great opportunity. Use Dragon Submissive at close range. Proposal. Dragonair's whole body once again showed a faint light, and under the blessing of the power of Yulong, it released a strong will to fight. Not only the power of the moves has been improved, but also the paralyzed Kamo-O suddenly felt a bit of fear, not daring to react casually. Under the paralyzed contest condition, it was already difficult to respond, so the staff-tailed scale Ankylosaurus became even more of an attacking target. Dragonair headfirst hits Kamo-O again. It's a pity that in the face of such a powerful attack, the stick-tailed scale armored dragon with high defense power can continue to persevere. Facing such a formidable enemy, Dragonair suddenly felt pressure doubled. But because of the blow just now, help Kamo-O successfully lifted the paralyzed contest condition. Thank you very much, otherwise this status condition would be really troublesome for us. Tommy, who was standing opposite, could not help but sneer. His Kamo-O has used many moves before to continuously improve the value of various abilities, including defensive abilities. So everyone is facing the mighty Dragon Rush, so naturally there won't be too many problems. Luo Ling also had to sigh with emotion. Tommy's Kamo-O is not only of high level, it is also very perfect in terms of matching and learning moves. Since you want to thank me, then don't be hypocritical, it's better to admit defeat directly, don't waste so much time. Facing the ridicule of the enemy, how could Luo Ling be willing to bow down? It's just that when he said this, many people present laughed at him instantly. Tommy's superficial politeness is really not up to standard. You're right, then there's no need to waste any more time. Kamo-O, use clanging scales. I saw Kamo-O began to rub the scales all over his body, and the hissing sound made people feel a headache after hearing it. It's like the rubbing sound of deliberately rubbing chalk on the blackboard when the teacher is in class at school, and it's even worse. Many people around quickly covered their ears, even the referee. Dragonair really can't stand such an annoying sound, but there is no way to avoid hearing this sound, so it is extremely painful at the moment. Calm down and interrupt your enemies with Twister. Facing this kind of indiscriminate attack method with no way to dodge, the only and most effective way is to counterattack. The orb on Dragonair's chest glowed slightly light blue, and immediately after that, several small twisters suddenly rolled up on the field, and their power gradually became stronger as time went by. There are 4 or 5 twisters in total, all of which are aimed at Kamo-O. In order to avoid the attack of Twister and not be swept into the sky, Kamo-O kept running around. But because of its high speed, even Twister couldn't keep up, so Kamo-O directly decided to rush to Dragonair, and Twister who followed behind also launched an indiscriminate attack. Even Dragonair, if you don't dodge in time, will be involved in the Twister Lord. It's just that regarding the operation just now, Dragonair didn't expect the other party to make such a decision. Not only that, but while the two Pokémon were evading Twister's attack, Kamo-O also forgot to punch Dragonair on the head, making him suddenly dizzy and being sucked by Twister directly. Bump. In the soaring in the sky, Dragonair fell heavily to the ground. Faced with such a situation, Luo Ling tried to use the power of Yulong to communicate with Dragonair. But at this time, Dragonair is in a coma contest condition, unable to do this. Quickly check to see if your Pokémon can continue to fight. Otherwise it's the referee's turn to make the announcement. Lori wanted to step forward to check the situation, but suddenly realized that she was in a competition. If she just stepped out like this, she might be eliminated directly for violating the rules. Therefore, he could only shout to Dragonair, who was lying on the ground and was a little dizzy. Don't give up, it's not the last moment. Believe in yourself. Encouraged by Luo Ling, just when the referee was about to announce the result, Dragonair suddenly opened his eyes and struggled to stand up again. Proposal. The arrogance of the inward scroll dragon itself made it unacceptable to lose in such a battle. Facing the stick-tailed scale-armored dragon again, the will to win infected everyone in the audience. Although the strength of these two Pokémon is not weak, but in terms of skill matching, Kamo-O is obviously better. The superposition of various attribute abilities can also reduce the corresponding abilities of rival. Most of the moves are indiscriminate attacks. Such a Pokémon, even if it is against multiple enemies at the same time, is completely easy. Dragonair, are you ready? Just when everyone was guessing how Luo Ling could win this match, he spoke. Proposal. Dragonair gave a positive answer. Agility, rush over and use wrap, entangle the people. Obviously, the stick-tailed scale-armored dragon has a strong melee ability. Dragonair rushed over directly without thinking about his own safety, which was not a very good tactic. Tommy also thought it was very ridiculous, and told Kamo-O to stand still, but at the same time, he kept an eye out and asked him to use Dragon Tail. Waiting until the moment of close contact with Dragonair, until then flick the tail. Bump. Just when everyone thought that Dragonair would definitely not be able to continue, Dragonair directly used his body to hold back the Dragon Tail move. Not only that, but also using its very supple body, through Kamo-O's tail, it continuously circles around the opponent's body. Such a reckless and close approach without considering any consequences is really beyond imagination. That's it. Use the Hydro Pump at close range. Dragonair opened his mouth, and the orb in front of his neck also emitted a blue light. Hydro Pump is more powerful than the previous Dragon Rush. If it is hit at such a close range, 398 may not be able to persist even if it is a staff-tailed scale-armored dragon with insufficient defense. Get rid of the other party. Rip off Dragonair anyhow. Tommy was a little anxious, he never thought that Lu Fan would adopt such a method close to suicide. Regardless of whether Dragonair can withstand the Dragon Tail just now, they forcibly narrowed the distance between the two sides. But Kamo-O is not vegetarian either. At the moment when the Hydro Pump was about to launch, he directly grabbed Dragonair's neck, turned the direction of his head slightly, and successfully avoided this strong and powerful blow. And because of being tightly strangled by the neck, Dragonair originally had a slight advantage, and completely disappeared at this moment. Not only that, but Kamo-O threw him to the ground hard. But even so, Dragonair's body and tail were still tightly wrapped around the arm of the staff-tail scale-armor dragon, trying to bite the opponent's hand with his mouth. Kamo-O became furious and roared, ready to hit Dragonair heavily on the ground. Use agility to dodge. Even though Luo Ling had issued an order, Dragonair seemed to have no intention of letting go. Until the last moment, when Kamo-O grabbed Dragonair by the neck and fell to the ground. Boom. Suddenly, a light that can shine in the audience appeared on Dragonair. It is the light of evolution. Everyone present was stunned. Unexpectedly, at this critical moment, Dragonair cannot evolve. Luo Ling's eyes widened. Through the power of Yulong, he could clearly feel Dragonair's tenacious spirit of not admitting defeat and not admitting defeat. It's truly an inward-scrolling dragon. Even though he is already at a disadvantage, and he is about to receive strong damage, he can still unleash all his strength at such a moment. Kamo-O's hand was burned by the flashing light, and he had to let go and back away quickly. After the light of evolution gradually disappeared, Dragonair also successfully evolved into Dragonite. Open black lens bracket Dragonite. Dragon close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket level. 55 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket character. Brave close black lens bracket. First ability. Mental power will not fall into fear, shrink back contest condition. Open black lens bracket second ability. Multiple scales when no damage is received, the damage received will be halved. Close black lens bracket. Individual values. HP 31, physical attack 31, special attack 31, physical defense 31, special defense 31, speed 31. Open black lens bracket skills. Dragon Rush, Agility, Dragon Dance, Dragon Tail, Water Pulse, Thunder Wave, Hurricane, Roost close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket qualification. Master level close black lens bracket. After checking Dragonite's information, Luo Ling was extremely excited. After waiting for so long, the dragon has finally evolved. This is the one that has been with Luo Ling for the longest time, and it is also Luo Ling's first Pokémon. After such a long time, Breeder finally got the first quasi-god who has evolved to the final form. Chapter 104 Hypertrophy First Battle. The Power of Quasi-God. Bow. A Dragonite with a khaki-colored body, a thin upper body, a bit fleshy lower body, a normal tail and normal size wings on the back, and 2 tentacles on the head appeared in front of everyone. Apt. No dragon. Luo Ling's first full-body quasi-god finally appeared. Dragonite flapped its wings, took off on the spot, and hovered in the air for a while. However, its speed was so fast that it even formed an afterimage where it flew. Dragonite, use missed. Luo Ling on the ground yelled, and Dragonite stopped to respond. Immediately afterwards, Dragonite opened its mouth and sprayed a strong mist towards the ground, which reduced the visibility around the field and at the same time caused Shenlong and Tailscale to lose their vision. Under such circumstances, Kamo-O has no way to determine the location of the enemy. Except for some indiscriminate offensive moves, those moves that need to be targeted can no longer be used. For a moment, Kamo-O, who couldn't see anything, fell into a panic. Bow. Dragonite turned to look at Luo Ling, as if showing him his heroic figure. Don't be afraid, use bulk up first, and prepare to use counter. Tommy couldn't see where the Dragonite was at this time, so he could only change his style of play first, and decided to see what the opponent would attack around. According to the ability of Pokémon like Dragonite, it is better at physical attack. That being the case, counter can just respond to the attack launched by the enemy. Dragonite, let everyone present see your strength. Use the Dragon Claw. I saw Dragonite opened his hands, forming an enlarged version of the Dragon Claw-shaped shell on both hands, and then rushed to the ground. Bump. With a bang, Dragonite successfully hits Kamo-O. The hands of the two dragons clashed tightly together, and this impact gradually faded away the previous mist. Everyone saw that Kamo-O's arms were shaking gradually, and the Dragonite had already begun to drop. When he couldn't hold on anymore, Dragon Claw kept waving, and Dragonite caused a lot of damage to the staff tail scale armor dragon. Now, give the damage counter to Dragonite. Tommy looked at the time and roared. The stick-tailed scale armored dragon instantly seemed to be pumped with chicken blood, a powerful force gathered on its fist, and directly hit Dragonite's face. As the name suggests, counter's effect is to double the physical damage received and return it to the opponent. Originally thought that Dragonite suffered a strong counterattack, and it would definitely be hit hard. But I didn't expect that Dragonite turned his head slightly like a dragon who had nothing to do, and looked at Kamo-O with a, just here, look. Dragonite's ability multiple scales come into play. On the premise of no injury, no matter how much damage or what type of damage is received, it will be halved. So the counterattack of the stick-tailed scale armored dragon just now is not surprising to Dragonite at all. Dragonite, grab your enemy's hand and use Fire Blast at close range. Bow. At the same time as Dragonite roar, Kamo-O was already entangled, forming a big character with his hands and feet. Immediately afterwards, the temperature of Dragonite's whole body increased, using the character big to push the high-temperature flames of the same shape directly to Marao Hakamo-O's body. Back first, use Roost. Dragonite let go of Kamo-O's hands, jumped back, retreated in front of Luo Ling, and then prostrated on the ground, protecting his body with his wings. A gentle light emanated from Dragonite's body, and the previous injuries were recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye. In this way, Dragonite's contest condition becomes the newly evolved contest condition again, and various scales can continue to exert their effects. But on the other side, the staff-tailed scale armored dragon was burned by the flames, and the situation was very bad. After resting, Dragonite stood up again, looked at each other with Luo Ling, and nodded. Luo Ling bestows the power of the dragon to communicate with Dragonite, trainer and Pokémon. Kamo-O hold back, use Drain Punch. I didn't expect that the other party would reply with a type of move. I have to say that this Kamo-O is so powerful. In terms of the matching of moves, it is indeed relatively perfect. Li Haojiao, this also allows Kamo-O to deal with many different situations during the battle. But everything has pros and cons. Excessive matching of moves has also become Tommy's weakness. Because apart from moves, he no longer has any advantages. Dragonite, rotate yourself, and use Dragon Dance to defuse the opponent's attack at the same time. When the two Pokémon collide, the Drain Punch hits the spinning Dragonite with no effect at all. It is also a reply-type move, as long as Roost is not worthy of interruption. But Drain Punch needs to hit the enemy first, and only after inflicting damage to the enemy will it be able to recover. Chapter 105, The Power of Waveguide. Dragonite is hunted down. Dragonite spun itself and deflected the Kamo-O Drain Punch with skill. A contest's turn, Dragonite rushed into the air. Looking at ground staff-tailed Ankylosaurus, he showed a smug expression. Call the hurricane. I saw Dragonite flapping its wings, and its body was constantly dancing in the direction of the wings. In the next second, a hurricane blew up at the scene, causing the surrounding spectators to cover their faces and step back a little. The strong wind at the scene intensified, and all of them were blowing in the direction of Kamo-O. The strong wind swept in, making the latter firmly attached to the ground in order not to be caught by Whirlwind Song. Punch on the ground with Ice Punch. At Tommy's order, Kamo-O opened his hands and clenched his fists, covering his hands with a layer of light blue energy resembling ice cubes. Bump. The moment it hit the ground suddenly started to freeze, which happened to freeze Kamo-O's legs, and firmly fixed 417 on the ground. In this way, it will not be whirlwinded by the strong wind. The hurricane kept attacking, and although Kamo-O did suffer the damage, he still stood firmly on the ground, and as soon as he flew, he kept throwing the big Emperor's rocks on the ground to Dragonite. It's a pity that Dragonite's speed is extremely high, and this level of attack is not enough for him to be hit. But Kamo-O's situation is not good at this time, he has been burned and will continue to be hurt. And with the passage of time, such a situation will not necessarily be alleviated. Fortunately, Kamo-O's various abilities have been improved through continuous move matching. After the storm was over, Tommy frowned slightly. Shout out to Kamo-O, unleash the power inside you. Use Aura Sphere. Boom. I didn't expect this Kamo-O to do this trick. Aura Sphere can only learn moves after the trainer with the power of Waveguide cooperates with Pokémon. Tommy actually has the power of Waveguide. Kamo-O put his hands together, and then slowly spread them out, and a different colored energy ball suddenly appeared between them. Slowly pouring the power of the Waveguide into it, the power of the energy ball is also constantly getting stronger. Whoosh. When the energy reached a critical stage, Hakamo-O Aura Sphere was thrown at Dragonite. The latter kept dodging in the air, taking advantage of its own speed, and successfully dodged the opponent's attack. But the power of Aura Sphere does not lie in this, but in the premise that it can use the power of the waveguide to lock on the enemy. Even if the enemy hides, it can also start follow-up tracking. In this way, Dragonite was constantly pursued by Aura Sphere in midair. Fortunately, the speed was fast enough, so it was not chased all the time. But such a situation certainly cannot continue forever, otherwise it will consume a lot of Dragonite's physical strength. Dragonite, use extreme speed to distance yourself, release Air Cutter remotely to consume Aura Sphere. Bow. In the next second, Dragonite's whole body was covered by a faint energy body. Whoosh. Only a loud noise piercing the air was heard, and the dragon disappeared in place. In fact, its speed has been enhanced. As one of the fastest Pokémon on the land, Dragonite has already surpassed the sky after using extreme speed. It's easy to distance yourself from Aura Sphere. People want to know exactly where the Dragonite is, but currently only rely on Bo's pursuit ability to confirm. It's a pity that the tracking of the Aura Sphere didn't even have time to keep up. Suddenly, several air cutters passed in front of him, directly cancelling the power of the Aura Sphere. There were several explosions in the air, and all the Aura Spheres Kamo-O used were destroyed. At this time, Dragonite reappeared on the field. It's just not in the air, but face to face with Luo Ling at close range. Bow. Dragonite greeted them with a smile, as if they were in Beiluan. We did a great job just now, but we're going to do our best next. There is no need to continue fighting this battle. Rival has only one last Pokémon left. Dragonite didn't care about Kamo-O standing opposite, but directly faced the enemy with his back, but he wanted Luo Ling's praise. Although there is no rule to say that such behavior is not allowed, but after letting the people at the scene see it, it gave people a feeling of being very arrogant and not taking rival seriously. In fact, today's Dragonite has extraordinary strength. From the stage of Dratini, it has been demanding itself with super high standards in Luo Ling's Pokémon. Even when other Pokémon are resting, the inner dragon is constantly training. Such ultra-high strength requirements also make the strength of the inner scroll dragon continue to grow stronger. Especially after evolving into Dragonite, it is also stronger than other Dragonites. Coupled with the fact that Luo Ling cultivated a quick attack direction, even if Dragonite had its back facing the enemy, it would not feel pressured at all. Chapter 106 Fierce Battle. The Strength of a Quasi-God. Dragonite, use Safeguard. Luo Ling ordered. This auxiliary move can prevent Pokémon from falling into abnormal contest conditions. But the Rodtail Scale Ankylosaurus does not have this type of moves at all, and most of them are moves that affect Pokémon's abilities. This is completely different from status condition. Therefore, Kaisai laughed after hearing Luo Ling's arrangement. You're just creating opportunities for us. Tommy is right, if you want to use Safeguard, you need a certain amount of stockpile. During this period, Kamo-O, who is fast enough and also fast, plays close combat. Rush over, use Hit. After being affected by a large number of previous moves with improved abilities, the current defensive ability of the staff-tailed scale-armored dragon is self-evident. As for the body press move, under the premise of the original damage, if the user's defense ability is stronger, the extra damage will be stronger. The surrounding audience looked dignified. If Dragonite is hit, it is likely to determine the outcome of this battle. Dragonite, use Outrage. At the moment when Kamo-O was about to pounce, Dragonite suddenly slammed, with mysterious power all over his body, and then caught Kamo-O's body with both hands. The two Pokémon frantically swooped together. Rolling from one end of the battlefield to the other, the scene was extremely intense. Dragonite punched the Ankylosaurus in the stomach with a fist fight, and it was also punched in the face. However, because of the ability of multiple scales, the damage received at the beginning is directly halved. Bump, bump. The battle between the two Pokémon was extremely fierce, but Tommy found that Kamo-O had unknowingly gained the upper hand during the battle. And at this moment, he finally understood why Luo Ling wanted Dragonite to use Safeguard. Outrage is a very powerful move, but after using it, it will cause the user to fall into a chaotic status condition. But under the guardianship of mystery and the like, Dragonite successfully avoided chaos. In this way, you can use powerful moves without fear. Facing such a situation, Tommy frowned, and after a brief thought, he asked Kamo-O to take the initiative to step back and distance himself. Use Focus Blast. I saw Kamo-O slowly move his hands closer together. At the moment when he was not completely close, a stream of air was released from his body, and a wave of air gradually formed between the palms of his hands. Then slap the Focus Blast out. Dragonite, Extreme Speed. Bow. Facing the approaching Focus Blast, Dragonite didn't have the slightest fear, but directly used its ultra-high movement speed and reaction force to pass by Focus Blast. Came in front of Kamo-O, waved his powerful tail, and hit him on the face. That's it, use Slam. Dragonite turned around, grabbed Kamo-O's limbs tightly, and tightly entangled Kamo-O's body with its huge but flexible fish tail. Boom. With an over-the-shoulder fall, the staff-tailed scale-armored dragon fell heavily on the ground, and the whole dragon began to shake a little. Don't give the other party a chance to breathe. Throw rival at soaring in the sky, hit. With Luo Ling's order, Dragonite directly grabbed Kamo-O's left foot, and while flapping its wings, it struggled to throw rival in the soaring in the sky. And howled in the air. Boom. 0. Asking for flowers. At this moment, a ray of light flashed in the air. A powerful bolt of lightning hits Kamo-O directly. For the final blow, use Giga Impact. Before Kamo-O fell from the sky, Dragonite suddenly squatted on the ground, and after a short stockpile with its too powerful and fat thighs, Assist took advantage of being able to fly, concentrated all his strength on the top of his head, and rushed directly to rival. Kamo-o, who was still in the midair sky drop, was suddenly hit in the abdomen, then his eyes went black, he completely lost his ability to move, and finally landed on the ground. Kamo-o, can't fight. Oh, Dragonite wins. In this match, the winner is the Long family, Luo Ling. When the referee announced such a result, Tommy couldn't care less, he was worried about Pokémon, and hurried to check Kamo-o's condition. At this time, Kamo-o was seriously injured. If not rescued in time, it is likely to be life-threatening. The Crowan family rushed to help and sent Kamo-o for treatment. Tommy also gritted his teeth and said to Luo Ling, "This is a competition, not a battle of life and death. If something happens to my Pokémon, I will never let you go." After all, it was the Clarence family. Tommy is one of the legal heirs of the family again. If he really kills his Pokémon, it will indeed cause a lot of trouble. But so what? Luo Ling responded indifferently. Did you get the priority wrong? In the case of inferior skills, what you have to do is not to threaten rival, but to thank the enemy for not killing them all. While talking, Dragonite has also returned to Luo Ling's side. And yelled at Tommy. Bawujin. Chapter 107 The Clarence Family's Beauty Trap. What beauties have I never seen? Facing the mighty Dragonite, Tommy looked at the dying Kamo-o, feeling very indignant in his heart. But the result of the competition has come out. Luo Ling won this competition. Bringing the Dragonite back into the Pokeball, Luo Ling pushed out of the field and returned to its original position. Long Aotian and Ying Nongtian showed gratified expressions. It seems that Luo Ling is indeed the most powerful person who is most likely to be recognized by the Dragon God. Congratulations. This time you made it to the semifinals safely. Winning Kair took a step forward and leaned against Luo Ling face to face. The latter responded and said, "It's still early, the real opponent of 373 hasn't appeared yet. The next game is to win the lottery against Bakashi. It's just that Bakiliong is not the main combat force of the Baki family this time, but just to make up the number of people. His strength is not enough to shake Win Kair." Luo Ling was watching from the viewing platform. This time, the referee was replaced by members of the Cloran family. With the referee's order, the game officially began. But at this moment, a person suddenly appeared behind Luo Ling. "Mr. Luo, take a step to speak." The voice was very familiar, it was someone from the Clarence family. Luo Ling was not afraid, turned around and followed the other party to the bathroom door in the rest area. "Well, what's there? Could it be that your young master was defeated by me just now, so you want to seek revenge from me?" Just as Luo Ling spoke, the other party shook his head. Immediately afterwards, a well-behaved little loli-like person walked out of the women's toilet. It's Ellie Clarence, Tommy's younger sister and the legal heir of the Crowley family. Ellie looked at Luo Ling with a slightly charming look, with the corners of her mouth slightly upturned. "Mr. Luo, you promised us before that if we kill the Baki family, then you will represent our family. You haven't forgotten about this, have you?" Unexpectedly, the other party was still thinking about this matter. Even though Tommy was defeated by Luo Ling in the last match, the opponent doesn't hold grudges. "You big brother was defeated by me, and you came here, it's hard for me to believe the real purpose of you looking for me." Just after Luo Ling finished speaking, Ellie suddenly smiled. She acted indifferent. "That guy is just a tantrum, and he has no skills. I am the strongest heir of the Clarence family, what is he? He lost because he was incompetent, but it didn't affect our cooperation." In fact, before Tommy came on stage, he had already been told by the people in the clan that this battle doesn't have to be so serious, just let Luo Ling win. Anyway, with Ellie in her pocket at the end, there is no need to worry at all. The most important thing is to be able to successfully win over Luo Ling and kill the patriarch of Baki first. This is the most important thing. Unexpectedly, Tommy disregarded the family's order and resolutely attacked Luo Ling. This has gone against the wishes of the patriarch. So the final result of the defeat was nothing but his own fault. Although Ellie and Tommy are siblings, their strengths are indeed very different. One is recognized by the family as a rising star who is rare in decades, and the other is the only heir of the family. Such a comparison, which is more important, is naturally clear at a glance. In the next game, I will face Yaki. I hope you don't forget your promise. While talking, Ellie gradually approached Luo Ling, facing him with a charming posture, her eyes released enchanting gazes from time to time. It also came to Luo Ling's ear, and whispered, "Little big brother, anyway, you are not from the Long family and the winner, come to our Clarence family, and I will be yours from now on." Hearing what the other party said, Luo Ling was stunned. As this sentence sounds, it is always easy to make people think about it. It seemed that the other party wanted to recruit Lu Ling with a beauty trick. However, what beautiful woman has Luo Ling never seen? Ellie looks really good, after all, she is the princess of a big family. But Luo Ling will be tricked by such small tricks. That's what you said, so if I join the Clarence family, how about you being my wife? The corners of Luo Ling's mouth turned up slightly, looking at Ellie with a sinister look in his eyes. Such a scene is really appropriate. Luo Ling couldn't help saying in his heart, since you want to pursue excitement, then follow through to the end. Ellie nodded silently, and said with great interest, "It depends on your ability, but I believe you must be fine." While speaking, Ellie was about to gently stroke Luo Ling but was avoided by the other party. Don't worry, wait until we win. Ellie glanced at the person who brought Luo Ling over, and the two left just like that. In the next game, if Ellie can be used to kill Yakishuan, it will be a good thing. Both of them are candidates for this year's championship. If Luo Ling wants to win the championship and get the qualification to enter the Dragon Mystical Realm, he must defeat both of them. This is no small matter. Just in time, let's go to the bathroom first, and think carefully about how to play the next game. Chapter 108. Duolongqi appears. Take the family with you. Currently, for the battle between Wincaer and Yakiliang. The next one is Ellie and Yakigawa. The last match was between Longxing and Brandon. If nothing else, the final four will be Longxing, Yingcaer, Luo Ling himself, Ellie and Bakishuan. According to the previous arrangement of the Long family, Luo Ling only needs a few hundred Ellie or Bakishuan to win the championship. Of course, this is under the premise of no accident. Who, come out. When he came out of the bathroom, Luo Ling felt that someone was following him. Just as there was no one around in the corridor, Luo Ling stopped. After waiting for a while, a strange yet familiar figure appeared in front of Luo Ling. It's Brandon who represents the Yaki family. Did you hear the conversation with O3 just now? The feeling of being followed lasted for a long time, compared to Brandon should know what just happened. The latter said coldly, it's not important. Then, take out the Pokeball. Competition, whoever loses, quits the game. Battle outside the game. This surprised Luo Ling. Although there is no indication that it is not allowed, such things are often not recognized. After all, this can be regarded as a disguised destruction of the original game rules and progress. However, looking at Brandon's appearance, I feel that if I don't compete with him, I'm afraid I won't be able to leave today. It happened that there was a quiet path outside the corridor, which led to the training ground. At this time, the training ground was already empty, and everyone went to watch the game. Give me a reason to fight you. Luo Ling said. Brandon explained his behavior without any pretense. If you don't fight, you can't leave. At this moment, Brandon suddenly released his own Pokémon. It's a quasi-god, the Spinosaurus. It's a good reason for the Gishisaurus to block Luo Ling's way. Luo Ling also understands that the opponent wants to defeat himself before the match. In this way, when the official match comes, there will be no Pokémon available in his hand, and he will lose by default. Such behavior is indeed shameful, but useful. This should be the tactic of the Yaki family, asking Brandon to help clean up other enemies, so that Yakishuan and Yakiliang can advance as much as possible. That being the case, Luo Ling cannot escape the battle. That's good too. According to Sai Chunggong's arrangement, Brandon will fight Longxing. It seems that when Long Aoshan allowed himself to take away so many quasi-gods, he first helped Longxing clear the obstacles ahead. At that time, it would be a good thing for Longxing to enter the Dragon Mystery Realm with him. If it is replaced by someone else, you have to be careful whether the other party will play tricks. If Longxing said, at least under the threat of Long Aoshan and Ying Nongtian, he would help him. Luo Ling took out the Pokeball and said to Brandon, then hurry up, don't delay my next game. The two walked through the quiet path and came to the training ground. Just treat it as an extra game in this game. Come out, Doranchi. As the Pokeball opened in midair, Doranchi's figure flashed, and 4 more Doranmija appeared on his body. Although it is an extra battle, the two sides still have to use the rules of the battle, just keep one. Brandon used, of course, the Stylophosaurus just now. Halbertosaurus. Dragon Ice. Open black lens bracket level. 56 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket character. Sloppy close black lens bracket. Ability. Heat exchange. When attacked by fire moves, the attack power will be increased, and will not be burned. Individual values. HP 31, physical attack 31, special attack 31, physical defense 31, special defense 31, speed 31, close black lens bracket. Skills. Great Sword Assault, Ice Shard, Icy Wind, Dragon Tail, Ice Fang, Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse, Earthquake, Iron Head. Open black lens bracket qualification. Champion close black lens bracket. Level 56 Spinosaurus. According to the information provided by Yingcaer before, isn't Brandon a negligible rival? That being the case, how could he have such a high-level Pokémon? Even among the descendants of aristocratic families, Pokémon of this level can be regarded as outstanding. Could it be that the information was wrong? Moreover, Chilosaurus also possesses Ice Type 517, and in terms of attribute restraint, Sanlongwei can control it to death. No wonder it was able to go to the final stage of the game. Spinosaurus, use Ice Fang. Brandon gave an order, and the halberd spine rushed directly to Duolongqi with its heavy body. Agility dodges, use U-turn with Little Doran. Do. I saw Duolongqi spread out from the left, and launched Duolong Maya, who was lying on top of his head, from the air above his head. Duolong Maya touched the arm of the Styrophosaurus, turned somersault lightly, and exchanged positions with Duolongqi. The latter launched the same attack, although it did not cause too much damage, but this way the wheel battle, but let Gigelonglong extremely irritated. Fortunately, the speed of the halberd spine dragon is not very fast. If you want to catch Duolongqi and Duolong Maya, you can't catch it at all. Come back first, use Icy Wind. The Spinosaurus stepped back a few steps and came to the final edge of the field. Immediately afterwards, he sucked in a breath of cool air, held his breath for a short time, and then blew it out towards the front.